collection time. This is 2.2. The goal for this collection, as well as the 3.1 collection, is to plant one more baker, or one baker if you haven't already planted one, as well as two cartographers. So two cartographers, one baker, or your second baker. And these two collections, so Friday night and Saturday morning, represent kind of a singular movement, and it doesn't really matter which order you do these in. As I explained in the first part of this video, the cartographer will increase your alloy, but you need a comfortable amount of supplies to go with the cartographer for the purpose of generating alloy and delay the construction of the second baker. So if you have a comfortable amount of supplies and can delay the bakery for one more collection, go with the cartographer for extra alloy. And if you're not comfortable on supplies, go with the baker. So this collection will actually work out pretty well because I will be able to do the cartographer here in Conrir, but in Arvahol, I will not have that many supplies, so I am going to do the baker in Arvahol for this collection. And then in Arvahol, I'll do the cartographers tomorrow. And then here in Conrir, I'll do the baker tomorrow. So you guys will get to see both sides of that equation. But that's the goal for 2.2 and 3.1. It's kind of a unified goal. Let's get into the collection. It's the same routine that we've been doing but there is a small twist at the end, so please pay attention to that. Collect and delete housing, get it up to 150% happiness. Do not collect your baker yet. Just collect and delete housing, get it up to 150%. Don't touch your baker. Let's get into it. All right, 150% happiness. So from here, go ahead and collect all of your coin, but do not touch your baker. And if you end up deleting some houses and you can create some space, like a little moat, where you can just put this in a iron box and make sure that you can't possibly fat finger it as you collect your houses. That would be the ideal. Do not collect your baker. Go ahead, we have 150% happiness, so go ahead and collect all of your coin, but do not fat finger your baker. You will do yourself a pretty serious disservice. From here, continue collecting or continue deleting housing in the same group of 6x6, but now we're going to start planting breweries, and just do this pattern until you run out of population. Each brewery that you plant is going to add 15,000 to the collection of the brewery, or of the bakery. So you're effectively getting the supply production of 2 bakers, even though we only have 1 baker planted. And the thing that we're wasting right now is coin. Collect and delete estate houses. Estate houses are free on alloy as well as supplies. Breweries are also free on alloy as well as supplies. The only thing that we're wasting is coin, but we have a pretty healthy abundance of that since our entire city up until this point has just been purely coin. So let me get this ready. Looks like I could do a couple more groups. Cool. So down to 60 available population, but generated 9 million in coin from this collection. We're up to 537 supplies. I did get some from the map because I have not collected the bakery yet, obviously. I have not collected that yet, so I'm up to 537 on supplies. Some of that's from the map. You also do get 50,000 supplies from the town hall, so keep that in the back of your mind. Up to 815 alloy just from the housing. We know that we'll get another 375 from the bakery, so comfortably over the 1,000 threshold that we need for this collection. Let's go ahead and grab the bakery just so we are done with collection. Keep this, remember this pattern and get used to it, because as we get our happiness under control, we won't be collecting and deleting houses to replace with churches. We'll be collecting and deleting houses and replace them with brewery to go ahead and grab our limited number of production buildings. So right now I only have one baker. By tomorrow I'll have two of them. But that jumped up my supplies up to 790. Tomorrow I'll do the same pattern, but with fewer churches and more breweries. So the two bakers that I do have are going to behave like 6 bakeries because of the multiplier effect on the breweries. And as soon as you're done with collection, go ahead and delete the breweries. The only thing that you're losing in this process is coin, and we have plenty of that as we've determined. So here in Conrear, one of two options between 2.2 and 3.1. One of two options is either going to be a pair of cartographer or a baker, either your second baker or your first baker, depending on where you're at. Here in Conrear, I'm going to do the two cartographers, and the two cartographers generate 1800 happiness, which replaces the footprint of 11.5 churches. And I have 12 churches down here on the bottom. Remember that each brewery that we plant increases the supply production of the bakery by 15,000. So right now we're getting 180 off of that. But once we plant a single brewery, it jumps up to 192. So 12,000 and change, something like that, at the 150% metric. So the 11 churches, the 12 churches down here, 11 of which I'll be able to replace with the pair of cartographers, will now become breweries, and that multiplier effect on even just a single bakery is enough to create the production value of 6 bakeries. It won't supplement the alloy production of a bakery, but in terms of supplies, just the act of adding 2 cartographers will take care of the supply production of a bakery. Multiple bakeries at that. So after 2.2 and 3.1, the system becomes self-sustaining. Let me get it reconfigured, and once I get it set back up, it'll be easier to visualize. I'll be right back. Alright, reassembled here. On a side note, the ratio of estate to multi-story, there's really no wrong way to do it, but you need to pay attention to your coin inventory. I would say 5 million in coin is kind of the threshold there. Anything below 5 million, probably plan a couple multi-stories into your rebuild layout at the end of collection. If you're close to the 5 million in mark. The main concern with coin, we're burning up a lot of it as we collect and delete. We're also generating a lot of it. But the part of the goal of the Anti-Alchemist is basically to skip the whole middle phase of construction. So we're going to go straight from a whole bunch of estate houses into a city full of pillories. That's part of the goal. So 1 or 2 clapboards, maybe at the pinnacle of the development stage, but then from there just go straight into pillories. So keep enough coins stockpiled. We haven't even done expansions here, aside from the original goods expansions, but I haven't done any of I haven't planted a goods building yet. So that's going to be a coin expense. We're going to have to print some troops at some point, so that's going to be a coin expense. Keep that in the back of your mind. Right now we're generating a lot of coin because the only thing that we have planted is coin producers, but as the season goes on, we are going to have to rely on some of the reserve that we're creating right now. So if you dip below the 5 million mark, put more multi-stories into your final construction. Here in Conrear, I've provided 1,000 Euphoria from the gallows that I've already constructed. I need 3,000 to provide Euphoria. Planted 2 cartographers, which are not cooked, as well as 1 more gallows. So that group of 3 will provide 1,900 of the additional 2,000 that I need for Euphoria. So I will probably have to plant one church on the upcoming collection and then continue collecting and deleting housing. But now instead of replacing with churches, I will replace with breweries for the purpose of collecting my very solitary baker. Good on supplies. We still have 400,000 left over from this collection on the supply side, so we're going to be good on that. And then tomorrow, 3.1 here in Conrear, now that I've accomplished the cartographers, I'll plant bakery number 2 here in Conrear. Arval is going to be the opposite because I did not have enough supplies to comfortably do the cartographers this collection, so I'm going to do the baker this collection in Arval and then do the cartographers tomorrow in Arval. 6 or a half dozen, it doesn't really matter which order you do it in. You will get more alloy if you do the cartographers first, but by 3.1, as long as you have both of those things accomplished, the system becomes self-sustaining at this point. We're getting all of our alloy and coin from our housing as we collect and delete, and even just a pure estate city is generating 50,000. They cost 16,000 to plant, so they are still coin profitable, and I have a pretty comfortable cushion on the coin side, so I don't need to generate a whole lot. Even the multi-story house at the current 60% metric, which is actually going to be 120% when I start tomorrow's collection, is still generating 165,000 coin. So on the coin side, not a big deal. The estate houses also keep your population lower, as I've mentioned. Anyways, getting the alloy from our housing, and then we're getting the supplies that we need from our single bakery. But remember, every brewery that you plant generates an extra 12,000 in supplies off the single baker. Even though the brewery is not collectible, it's adding to the supply value of the bakery. So effectively, once we delete these houses and replace with 14 breweries, we're generating an extra little over $1 million in supplies would be the surplus. It's only one baker, so you're only gonna get the alloy value of one bakery, but you'll get the supply value of about 10 of them. So let's jump over to Arval. That one's gonna be the opposite order, but just so you guys can see how that plays out. Alright, so Arval, you guys already know the setup. I'm not going to walk you through that again. The only thing left to collect is the bakery. Here in Arval, though, I am not above that 300,000 threshold on the supplies to comfortably plant 2 cartographers, and I don't think I would even get that much from the bakery after collection. So yeah, I still don't even have enough supplies for the 2 cartographers, which is fine. That's really not a big deal. It's one of 2 ways: either plant the bakery first and then the cartographers tomorrow, or the cartographers now and the bakery tomorrow. So here in Arval, I'm going to do the second baker for today, and then we'll get the 2 extra cartographers tomorrow. Let me get that set up. All right. Arval is done, no cartographers, and did not have enough alloy to plant another gallows. If you do have a little bit more than 1,000, go ahead and plant the bakery as well as another gallows, and give yourself a little bit of head start on the happiness. I cut it pretty close here in Arval. Is 1,055 alloy is what I came up with, so just enough for the 1 baker, which is fine. We're still going to start collection at 60%. Pure estate houses here in Arval, still good on the coin, 5.6 million or whatever. Supplies after collecting the baker, 285. So on the upcoming collection, now that I have 2 of them to be multiplied by breweries, will be pretty comfortable to plant the 2 cartographers. Hold off on your goods expansions. I haven't done them here in Arval yet either. Hold off on those, and the issue with doing those prematurely is the alloy cost of the goods building. So the most that you'll be able to get out of adding that expansion is if you pack it with houses and you're able to automatically collect them at 150% happiness, and you'll get 60 alloy out of that chunk of real estate, but the production cost of the goods building to get it in the first place is 200 alloy. So just hold off on your goods expansions in the developing stages. That's the temptation. I need more space. I want to ramp up my production, but you're actually just going to lose 140 alloy on your upcoming collection. So wait until you get your alloy sustainable before you start adding that space. And then from there, you can just multiply the production that you already have established. But if you jump into that prematurely, you're just going to deplete your the alloy that is better invested on something like a bakery. You know what I mean? So I think that's a wrap. 3.1 here in Arbahol is a pair of cartographers. I will probably have enough extra alloy to add a gallows as well, which is the movement that I made in Conweer. This collection added 2 cartographers and 1 gallows. I'll probably have enough alloy here in Arbahol to do that movement tomorrow. And then in Conweer, the move on 3.1 is going to be to add the second baker. And at that point, here in Arbahol, I'll be done with churches permanently. Collect and delete housing. Add 1 or 2 churches if you need to get up to happiness, and then delete the rest of your housing for breweries to multiply your bakers. That's a wrap. It's pretty clean, and after 3.1, it becomes self-sustaining. So, like I said at the intro, this is designed to be a free system. I had to buy the 100 pack of shards here in Arbahol just to be able to rush my bakers. But other than that, you don't have to spend diamonds or shards on anything. So keep you guys posted. Bye.